Hey there, this is Owen with GrimmSpeed, and today I'll be walking you through the installation of the GrimmSpeed Top Mount Intercooler for the 2022 WRX. This is a fairly easy install and should only take 20 to 30 minutes at most. This job can be handled with just a few simple hand tools. You can see what's necessary listed here. The first step is to disconnect the charge pipe from the factory intercooler. To do this, use a screwdriver to pop both ends of the retaining clip up into their service position. Now it's time to remove the intercooler. Working from the passenger side across, remove the two 12mm bolts securing the intercooler bracket to the intake manifold. Next, remove the two 12mm bolts that seal the intercooler to the throttle body. Finally, remove the upper 12mm bolt on the driver's side of the intercooler, leaving the mounting bracket attached to the manifold. Now that the intercooler is loose, you can pop it off of the throttle body towards the firewall and lift it out of the engine bay. With the intercooler off the car, turn it over and remove these three 12mm bolts to free the charge pipe from the intercooler. Next, take off the passenger side mounting bracket by removing the 12mm bolt from the bushing. You will also want to retrieve the mounting bushings and sleeves to reuse on the GrimmSpeed intercooler. Gently remove the sleeve using a screwdriver and then pop the bushing out of the slot. Repeat on both sides of the intercooler. Moving over to the charge pipe, loosen both of the factory hose clamps securing the rubber coupler in place using either a flathead screwdriver or a 7mm socket. With the clamps loose, you can pop the quick release adapter out of the coupler as well as removing the coupler from the upper section of the charge pipe. Moving over to the GrimmSpeed intercooler, start by installing the bushings and sleeves from before on each side of the core. Make sure that the faces of the sleeves are pointed upwards. Install the new GrimmSpeed silicone coupler onto the quick release side of the charge pipe in the orientation shown here, with the tapered side of the adapter pointing away from the coupler. Loosely place the included worm gear clamps over the new coupler. Before installing the charge pipe onto the new intercooler, make sure that the factory gasket is clean and free of any dust or debris. Align the dowels in the charge pipe with the pockets machined on the flange of the intercooler end tank. Bolt the charge pipe in place using 3 of the 12mm bolts from before. Torque these bolts to 11.8 foot-pounds. You can now pop the GrimmSpeed coupler onto the upper section of the charge pipe. Leave the clamps loose for now in case you need to fix the alignment of the logo once the intercooler is in the engine bay. Reattach the intercooler support bracket to the passenger side of the intercooler using one of the factory 12mm bolts. Leave this loose now so you can get it aligned with the intake manifold. Set the intercooler in your engine bay and loosely align the charge pipe and throttle body connections. We find that it's easiest to fully seat the throttle body first by pulling the intercooler towards yourself. If you find that the throttle body is binding up in the intercooler, you may need to apply some additional lubrication to these O-rings. With the throttle body connection in place, pop the charge pipe quick release back into the lower half of the charge pipe. Once this is seated, you can click the retaining ring back into place to secure the adapter. Align the coupler and tighten down the two clamps. Line up the larger intercooler support bracket with the threaded bosses in the intake manifold and bolt it in place reusing 2 of the factory 12mm bolts. You can then reinstall the two 12mm bolts to secure the throttle body flange. Finally, reinstall the 12mm bolt for the driver's side intercooler bushing. Torque all 6 of the intercooler mounting bolts to 11.8 foot-pounds. That's it! Your GrimmSpeed intercooler is installed. If you have any questions or issues, feel free to reach out to our team of experts at support@grimmspeed.com.